are you today? Today, I'll be talking about the perfect body. Yeah, you hear me? The perfect body. Because, in a conversation I have with people, sometimes, we talk about they ask me, the right definition of a perfect body when you're training. When you're an athlete, I think a perfect body, what it means for me, and how do I describe, someone who has a perfect body, if perfect body, if perfection exists, in my mind, it doesn't exist, perfection doesn't exist, okay? Nobody is perfect, right? Okay? But we talk about the perfect body, the perfect shape, the perfect physique, and you see, there's, many, explanation, maybe the definition about how to be perfect, to have a perfect shape and perfect body, and today, exceptionally, I be telling things, telling athletes name, in bodybuilding. I'm gonna be talking, mostly about bodybuilding, and just right from the start, I must tell you, that today's bodybuilder, there's no one imperfect, they are not perfect at all, and for many reasons, they are not simply not natural, their shape are artificial, artificially wrong, but I try, to tell in my mind, what it was, for me, the type of a perfect physique, perfect physique. I'm a guy from the 80s, right? Okay, and when I started training, for me, I was looking at a guy, I'm gonna name him, Bob Paris. Bob Paris, for me, he had, the perfect physique, for me, he had the perfect physique, and you must understand, what I mean by perfect physique, for me, a perfect physique, you must have, mass, right? Okay, you must have, the symmetry, right? The symmetry, and a good definition, a good muscular definition, with a good cardio and a good flexibility, right? Okay, but we talk about, the looking, the shape, and the shape of the athlete. And for me, Bob Paris, was the type of guy, with the perfect physique, because he had everything, and he was getting on stage, to pose and then to expose himself, to exhibit himself, on stage, he was able to sell his shape, what is posing routine, right? His posing routine and the way he was flexing and everything. And I don't know another one, when I was a kid, and I started, watching guys, the bodybuilder, Lou Ferrigno was another one, Franco Columbu, but Franco Columbu for me was a little bit too short, he didn't have, the perfect physique, and what I learned, later on, by training and experiences and everything, that all the name of the guy there, they were using, anabolic steroids, less than what the guys, you can compare what they were using, at that time, with what the athletes, the bodybuilder, are using today. Today, it's awful. It's really awful, all right, okay? What they're taking, it's really crazy, And I was just, watching videos on YouTube, about the guy, all the bodybuilders, who passed away because of bodybuilding, because of the shit they were using, because of all the scrap, they put, inside their body, right, to get, a bigger, to be better, and I'm gonna tell you again, right, okay? My point of view is clear about it, it's artificial, it's insane what they're using and are taking, and I'm against, the scrap they are using, right, okay? The scrap are using, And I know people, the people they talk about me and so say, the perfect physique, I'm not inventing anything, new here, this afternoon, right? Okay, the taller want to be a little bit shorter, the shorter want to be a little bit taller, and the bigger like to be a little bit, smaller, the smaller like to be a little bit bigger, right? Okay, and the people, they want to be like me, for example. I increase my mass a little bit for winter, by increasing my calories and pumping iron, right? Okay, and I feel, that I'm not completely satisfied, right? Okay, maybe 45, I'm not completely satisfied because, I gain fat, right? Okay, and I don't have the flexibility and I don't have the cardio I'm supposed to have, right? Okay, so at the end of the day, I'm just like more tired, right? I'm about, my weight is between 257, right? and 259, which on 5'9" frame, right? Which is for me naturally, it's I'm too heavy, right? I would feel more comfortable at 240, right? 240, more high shape, more definition, would be shredder, right? Okay, and even better, right? Okay, but even for a female or a male, the perfect physique doesn't exist, naturally. I'm talking about the people who are naturally people are training hard, right? Okay, for many years, okay, or you just even as a beginner, right? Okay, if you start training, two times up, congratulations, okay? It's a healthy way of life, okay? I want to tell you and mention again, it's a healthy way of life, You're training muscular, right? You're training cardio, your flexibility, right? And you're practicing other sports, you're healthy, you're physically active, you have the energy, necessary energy, and to accomplish everything you want to do during the day, right? During the day, on a daily basis, right? Okay, it's wonderful. Two thumbs up. The perfect physique, and I'm gonna bet you all the money in the world, bring me someone here, and you're gonna see, his physique and everything. But I'm gonna measure him, I'm gonna tape him, I see, look for the symmetry and everything. It doesn't simply exist, doesn't simply exist. We all have sometimes, a well balanced physique balance naturally doesn't exist, doesn't exist, People are looking for perfection today. They're looking for perfection for training. People are obsessed about their body, right? Okay, but there's no one perfect. There's a guy one training, he has a super big shape, Okay, he's got all in the upper body. I look at his calf, right? Okay, and he doesn't have any calf. Okay, and his legs, the quads is having trouble with his quads, and the guy is 28 years old, right? Okay, I don't know if using rise or not, it's not my fucking business anyway, okay, but it's not perfect, I was looking at guys, on stage, they're supposed to be natural, they're not natural, supposed to be natural, okay, master over 50 years old, and I look at the physique, and there's sometimes they don't have the symmetry, they're supposed to have, if you compare, the upper body with the lower body. So the main point, when we talk about, a perfect physique, physique, perfect body, it simply doesn't exist, Talk about the female, I know personally female, who pay $10,000, to get, extra chest, extra breasts, extra boobs, right? Okay, and it's not natural, right? Okay, it can't be perfect. It just can't be perfect. Okay, it just can't be perfect. Okay? Some people, spending minutes and minutes, running like horse on the treadmills, right? Okay, trying to burn fat. It's not exactly the right way to burn fat, right? Okay, you don't understand that. Right from the start, it starts by your nutrition, which I'm passing the Canada Pro certification right now, and we talk about 80%, 80%, okay, of your global, how you say that, your global result is about your nutrition. It's very important, right? If you want to lose weight, and if you don't change, your nutrition right from the start, and if you don't understand, it's 80%, of your succeed, right? Okay, you're on the wrong way, you're on the wrong track, Even if you're training hard, you got the genetics and everything, it starts right there, and by your way of life, your habits and everything, it's all there, all right? It's all there to achieve the perfect physique, for me, a perfect physique. I'm trying to respond to a question, so, with recently the conversation I had with someone in the gym, right? Okay, it simply it's impossible. It doesn't exist a perfect physique, And I'm excluding, the guy, the person who are using, anabolic steroids, and growth hormones, because it's not natural. They don't have a perfect physique, Even the guys who are, injected, synthol, which is very harmful and hardly insane, right? They're using it, it's not natural. The physique is not natural, so it cannot be perfect either, right? It cannot be perfect either. Okay, it simply doesn't exist in perfect physique. I guess if you're in shape, you have a good, mass, muscular mass. Okay, and again, you have the definition about having a good muscular mass. and if you have a good, overall, in general strength, right? Okay, and if you have a good cardio, you have the flexibility, you are able during the day to do all your activities, that you want to do or want to accomplish. Practicing another sport, training, in another sport, you're lifting weight, you're training, to be better in your sport. It could be hockey, it could be boxing, it could be anything, it could be football, for example. Okay, MMA, okay, baseball, whatever, okay, or whatever sport, okay. You're on a good track, right? Okay, but the perfect physique, it doesn't exist. Not yet, not yet. Perfection for me, it doesn't exist, for a human being, right? Okay. And again, I'm gonna die. If you bring me someone here, right, in a house, okay, and put the person naked, okay, and he's telling me he has a perfect shape, a perfect physique, okay, he must be, have a good, physical conditioning, okay, which is quite different, would be better, right, okay. But I think the perfect, physique, the symmetry, the perfect symmetry, the good muscle size, right, okay, and plus, the flexibility, the cardio and everything, doesn't exist, compare, the lower body, comparing the lower body with, the upper body, and to put all together, balanced physique, and you put equal, it doesn't exist. It doesn't exist because we all have, weakest point, to work on, and we all have, strongest point, right? Just for example, to give you, an idea about it. That's what I have to say about it. The perfect, physique doesn't exist. Doesn't exist. To find out somebody going to be perfectly equal everywhere, well balanced on his physique, on his shape, it simply doesn't really exist. Okay. Have a super nice day. Stay fit, stay in shape, keep on training. Ciao.